Okay, so this is a chop saw. This is used for predominantly cutting timber to a neat finish, angles and straight cuts. It's a rotating blade that essentially lowers down onto our the fixed material and creating a nice, clean, sharp cut. Okay, PPE is used for the chop saw is what I'll definitely be using is goggles first and foremost, ear defenders and a mask. I choose not to wear gloves on this. I like to feel what I'm holding, and I do feel there can be a risk of the glove being pulled into the machine. To start the machine off, we have a safety catch there that keeps the saw in lockdown position, and that simply pulls out and allows us to get to the working material. So we're just going to quickly run through the safety aspect of the machine. As I said, the safety guard that allows you to lock the machine off, just stop it lifting off and stopping us access to the blade. Now the handle on the top there, that allows you access to the rotating blade, which will allow you to pull down, cut the material safely. There's a couple of issues here. Make sure these rollers, which pull the blade over the material, are running freely and they're intact. And make sure your blade is well maintained, with no teeth missing and in a reasonably sharp condition. Again, the safety catch goes in, the handle comes down, cutting the material safely and neatly. So the machine will cut between 90 and 45 degrees both ways. It will also do a compound as well. Very simple way of opening it up. It has a lever that takes the pressure off, and there's a simple thumb turn which will allow you to lock it into set positions or at any angle between 45 and 90 degrees. Okay, now the machine is is live and ready to cut. We have our material, we have our PPE, and we're ready to go. What I have done with the machine is I've made sure the machine is fixed to the work surface to give us good, make sure there's no wobble on anything. So we're ready to go. My material's in the right place up against the bed. My 90-degree angle is locked in, ready to go. We'll make the cut. So we've got a nice clean cut now. Before we approach the machine again or move on to make another cut, make sure that the blade guard is now retracted fully and the blade has stopped moving, and now we're ready to move on and maybe cut a 45. Okay, then, so the next one we have is a battery powered reciprocating saw. Now these do come in a larger size that run directly off the mains. But for me, this is perfect for tight spaces, creating apertures where I need to get in. Bit of a rough cut, but perfect for what it does. You see a protruding saw blade that just oscillates backwards and forwards, creating the cutting blade. The PP that I would be using for this is a set of goggles, gloves, mask, and ear defenders. Now how this will be working, 9 times out of 10, I'm either low down or I'm using it above my head, creating a lot of dust. Again, safety catch on the side, pull the trigger, and the blade oscillates backwards and forwards. This is a two-handed machine, and on the larger ones you do have, you might even have a handle at the top. But absolutely lovely bit of kit. Cordless circular saw, comes in a corded version as well, very similar to the chop saw. With a retracting guard that covers the blade. Very simple usage again, rotating blade that cuts through your material. Fantastic bit of kit, we'll cut in a variety of different depths. It also has a guide for straight line, two-handed use, fantastic bit of kit. So the PPE that I would use for this, ear defenders, goggles, and the mask. I again personally wouldn't be using gloves on this. I like to feel exactly what I'm doing. I want to know where my fingers are when it goes on. How we're going to do it, it's super important that we get the depth of the cut, and all these saws do come with a depth gauge on them, which is very simple, just allows you to elevate the bed of the machine to allow the depth of the saw that actually goes into the material. And then again, a two-handed machine, safety catch on the top, activate the safety catch, trigger goes in, then two-handed, let the blade do the work, pushing into the material. The depth has now been set on my blade. I'm cutting a piece of 9mm ply and PP on and ready to go. Cut, we're going to push the saw into the material, thus retracting the blade, retracting the guard, allowing the blade to cut into the material. So PP on and ready to go. Onto one of our most used tools, which is a jigsaw. Quick release blade, and again, like the reciprocating saw on a pendulum, the blade goes up and down, cutting the material. Two-handed machine, very, very handy indeed. Battery powered this one, but they do again in cordless. No depth of cut, everything is just straight in, allowing us to cut curvy lines. Same rules apply, PPE, goggles, mask, ear defenders. I won't use gloves on this, but that's my preference. Okay, so now we're ready to cut our material. Material is now clamped down with a pendulum. 3 being the fastest cut. We're going to flip that round to 0 to allow it to stop so the blade is now just up and down. Safety catch off. Trigger ready to go.